All right, here we are with the 11th grade C on an afternoon class. This is the all together class. And what we're going to do today is that we are going to discuss, right? We're going to discuss the story of Frankenstein. We are going to start with the introduction and then people will start reading the rest of the chapters. We don't have much time, so we're going to try to go fast. Frankenstein. There are probably more films of this sad and frightening story than any other story in the world. Why do so many people like it? Is it because Frankenstein's monster is something that we all know? Something from our worst dreams? It's an old story and a new story. Old because it was written more than 180 years ago. And new because Frankenstein's problem is the same problem that scientists have now, or today. Science gives us many wonderful discoveries, machines, computers, weapons, but how do we use these things? Will they give us a better life or will they destroy us in the end? I think that's a pretty good question on Frankenstein. It's the question about science. Victor Frankenstein creates a new man, bigger and stronger than any other man, a huge and frightening monster. But even monsters need love, and when his creator turns away from him, the monster begins to destroy everything that Frankenstein loves. All right, so here we go, people. We are here on chapter 1. Let's do this. We're gonna ask Mr. Cristobal Vega. Cristobal, are you ready? Cristobal. Okay, Cristobal, can you start reading?
Okay.
All right, dude, let's do this.
Desde el comienzo, ¿no? Supongo.
Yeah.
Captain, something is moving on the ice. Look over there. The sailor stood at the top of the mast, high above the captain. His hand pointed away from the ship across the miles of ice that covered the sea. The captain looked out to the north, where the sailor was pointing. He saw something coming fast towards. Me perdí.
Towards the ship.
Towards the ship across the ice. He put this telescope to his eye, and through it he could see the shapes of 10 dogs pulling a sledge over the ice. He could also see the driver of the sledge, a huge figure, much bigger than a man. The sledge came nearer and nearer to the sea. Soon it was only a quarter of a mile from the ship. No one.
There you go.
No one needed a telescope now to see the huge figure of the driver. Suddenly, the sledge went behind a mountain of ice and disappeared. At that moment, another sledge appeared. It too was moving fast and was clearly chasing the first sledge. This driver was a smaller figure, more like an ordinary man. Faster and faster the dogs ran. Then the second sledge also disappeared behind the mountain of ice. 2 hours passed. The sledge did not appear again. Nothing moved on the ice. Soon night came, and in the night there was a storm. In the morning, the sailors saw that great pieces of ice were floating around the ship. Suddenly, the sailor on the mast shoot again.
Okay,
Captain.
Good, Cristobal. Well read, Cristobal. Very nice. So we need another person now. Well read, master. Eh? Very nice. All right, let's go now. Sofita Fernandez. Pretty nice, Cristobal. Captain. Okay, so far we can see there's a captain and there are some people on a sledge. What's a sledge? People, let's say the people use sledge when they are in the snow. They use them for fun or to travel long distances with dogs. What is a sledge?
Trineo?
Trineo.
Yeah. So they are on the ship. There's a captain, there's a crew, and they see two sledges, and it seems like there is a chasing. Okay, it's a someone is chasing the other. A big man and then a regular man. Okay, Sofita is not here, I think. Fran Perez, let's go with you. Francisca.
Okay. ¿De dónde? ¿De sailor?
The sailor.
Okay. The sailor was pointing to a piece of ice that was floating near the ship. A man was sitting on the ice, and soon night came, and in the night there was a storm.
And there was a storm. Ah, yes, good. Near him.
Ay, está como medio lento mi compu.
Oh yeah, no worries. It's okay.
Near him was a broken sledge. The man was nearly dead from cold and could not walk. The sailors carried him carefully onto the ship and took him to the captain, who said, "Welcome to my ship. I am the captain and my name is Robert Walton." "Thank you, Captain Walton," the man said. "My name is Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein." Then he fainted and said no more. 2 days passed before the man was strong enough to talk, and then the captain asked him to tell his story. "I am trying to catch someone," said Frankenstein. "That is why I had to come so far north on the ice. We saw you following someone," the captain said. "He was huge, much bigger than a man. We saw his sledge just in front of you on the night before the storm. I am pleased you all saw that huge figure," Frankenstein said. "Perhaps that will help you to believe my story." During the days while the captain worked on the ship, Frankenstein broke down his story, and each evening he read what he had written to the captain. Here is Victor Frankenstein's story.
Alrighty, so what we can see here is that Victor Frankenstein was rescued by this captain and the crew, and they were in an icy place, okay, really cold. And now we can have a look that the story begins, it starts to go backwards. So it begins with the end. Okay, so now he's gonna tell his story. So that's why it starts like this. Alrighty, time is flying, so we're gonna call another person out. Thank you, Fran. Well read again. Catamarambio, let's get ready. If you have any, yes, if you have any word that is difficult, you can stop and we can correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I was born in Switzerland. Yeah, in the town of Geneva. My parents love each other very much, and I learned from the example of their love. I learned that to love and to be patient are the most important things in the world. My mother hoped to have a daughter after I was born, but for 5 years I was the only child. And then my mother found a sister for me. She was helping a family in which there were 5 children. They were very poor and the children were thin and hungry. One of the children was a little girl with golden hair and blue eyes. Her name was Elizabeth. My mother took the little girl into her family, and Elizabeth becomes the daughter that my mother had always wanted. As I grew older, my love for Elizabeth became stronger all the time. Later, my mother had two other sons, Ernest and William. A young woman called Justine came to live in the house to help my mother with the children. We love her as much as she loves us. The years passed happily, and we had everything that we need. At school, I met another very fine person. His name was Henry Clerval, and he was very clever. My family also liked him very much, so he was welcome visitor to our house.
Nice. Okay, let's see. Continues here. No. Okay, so you finish chapter 2, Kata.
Ah, ¿ya lo termino?
Yes, it was. I mean, it was about to finish.
Okay. I studied very hard at school. I wanted to know the secrets of life, and most of all, I wanted to know how to make living things. I read all the books that I could find. One day, something happened that added a new idea to the ideas that I already had. I was 15 at the time, and we were on holidays in the mountains. There was a wild storm, and with it came the most frightening
Frightening.
thunder and the lightning that I have ever seen in my life. About 20 meters in front of our house was a great tree. Suddenly, a huge fork of lightning hit the tree. After a few seconds, there was nothing left of it except a black piece of wood, 2 meters high. The lightning had destroyed it. I saw how strong electricity was. I began to read all the books that I could find about electricity and its terrible power.
And its terrible power. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Very nice. And its terrible power. So there were some words: frightening and lightning. Kind of similar pronunciation. Frightening.
Okay.
And
Frightening and lightning.
And lightning. Yes. So as we're gonna finish really soon, I don't think we can continue. But people, you need to read from chapter 6 to from 3 to chapter 6. As you can see, they are very short. And 6, okay, because next class we are gonna start talking about this, okay. So it's very important that you read those chapters. Quick question. So what we have now is kind of a story, the beginnings of this character. What's the name of the main character of the book? What's the name of the main?
Victor Frankenstein.
Victor Frankenstein. Okay, we can say that Victor Frankenstein, and he has a family. Tell me, what members of the family do we know?
Elizabeth, William, se me olvidó el otro hermano, y la mamá y el papá.
Help. What are the names of the other brothers? Of the others? Elizabeth, William,
Ernest.
and Ernest. Elizabeth, William, and Ernest. So they are a family. Ernest and William are the youngest, but what's the difference between Elizabeth and the rest of the little brothers? Apart that she's a girl, but what is the other difference?
Ella es adoptada.
Yeah, she's adopted. Yeah, she's adopted from another family. And they were very poor, so she was adopted. Good. All right, that's perfect. And how can we describe Victor Frankenstein? With what adjectives? How is he? We don't know the physical aspect, but we know other things.
Es inteligente y curioso.
He's very curious. He's very intelligent. That's true. He's very intelligent and very curious. And he became fixed. Okay, if you become fixed, fixed for something. If you became fixed by something. If you are fixed with something, okay, it means that you are obsessed with something. What is Mr. Frankenstein's fixation, or what is he fixed with?
Con lo de darle vida a las cosas, creo.
Yes.
Creo que era eso.
Giving life to dead things, and also he saw something in nature that shocked him. He saw something.
El rayo, ¿o no?
Yeah, English.
Thunder.
He saw.
Thunder.
Actually, you can't see the thunder. You can hear the thunder, but Let me help you. I think it was here.
Huge fork of lightning.
A lightning. Yeah, he saw a lightning. So lightning, and he saw. What did he? What was he impressed about the lightning?
Que era muy fuerte. Porque
very-
rompió el árbol.
Yes, it was very powerful and destroyed most of the tree and left nothing. People. So what do you think of the start of the book?
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. We have an idea, like a clear picture of what's going to happen, but ooh, a lot of surprises. People, so please, for next week, read until chapter 6. It's very short, as I mentioned. So chapter 6, which should be here. It finishes on page 20. And if you have any questions, tell me. And also make a vocabulary list. It's always good when you are reading a book in English. All right, my people.